Hi everybody, it's Danielle from Haverford Township Free Library and welcome to this week's Pajama Storytime. This week we're going to do a loud and soft themed story time. So for our story tonight we are going to read Sullivan, who is always too loud. And this is written by Michael Ostow and illustrated by Brian Briggs and published by Roaring Books Press. Sullivan, who is always too loud. This is Sullivan, who is always too loud. Not just sometimes, not just often. Hello! Always. At home, Mama says, Sullivan, Ella baby is sleeping. Sullivan, Mr. Jenkins downstairs will complain. Sullivan, I can't hear myself think. You're not supposed to hear thinking, Sullivan shouts. He shouts it loudly. And Ella baby wakes, and the dog barks, and Mr. Jenkins downstairs raps on their floor, his ceiling, with his cane. Mr. Jenkins likes quiet at night. Rapping with his cane means keep it down, Sullivan. Sullivan tries his best. Look, he duct tapes pillows around his mouth. Mama says, it's a start. At school, Ms. Chow says, Sullivan, it's reading time now. Sullivan, it's Leia's turn for the share chair. Sullivan, Miss Gonzalez cannot teach percussion with your cymbals crashing away. Smash! Sullivan smashes his cymbals loudly once more because percussion means a booming sound. So Ms. Chow should be proud. She sends Sullivan to the peace place for thinking. Well, it's the quiet chair. Sullivan tries to explain to Mama, I have loudness in my body, bubbling up, always, and it always has to come out. He makes a giant Tarzan jungle yell. Mama says, it does not have to come out at the grocery store. All through dinner, all through bath time, all through bedtime story, Sullivan squashes his loudness down, down, down. But the next morning, it bubbles back up. Outside, Mr. Jenkins sits on the stoop in his green every Wednesday suit. Green, like a ferocious dinosaur. Sullivan is a dinosaur, too. His loudness bubbles up into a ferocious dino. Roar! Oops. Mr. Jenkins frowns. Frowning means, oh, Sullivan. Mama asks, have you tried counting 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3! Mama says, it's a start. At school, Sullivan tries again. During center time, when there are no red blocks. 1. During share chair, when it's Bowden's turn. 2. During movement, which is for silly jumping. 3. It's not easy, but counting squishes the loudness down. At recess, Bowden gives Sullivan a turn with his yellow super high bounce ball. Sullivan wants to sing a bouncing song at the tip-top of his lungs. Boing, boing, boing. But the loudness is squished down, so deep down, inside, that the song won't come. What if the loudness is squished inside forever? But then, when it's time to go inside, everyone lines up. Everyone except Annalise. She's far away in the tall grass monster corner of the playground. She doesn't hear Miss Chow. Sullivan feels a bubble, 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 rumble up. Oh no. Now is eyes on teacher time, but Sullivan must. Now the tree stump is a Jungle King platform. 1, 2, 3. His loudness. It's there. Annalise! He gives an enormous, extra wild Tarzan jungle yell. Annalise hears. She comes running. And Miss Chow? She smiles. Thank you, Sullivan, for choosing the right time for loudness. She gives him a gold star. Sullivan is proud, proud, proud. The feeling bubbles up. Sullivan tries to count. 1, 2. Thank you! Miss Chow just laughs. She says, it's a start. And Sullivan laughs too. Oops. The end. That is Sullivan, Who is Always Too Loud, by Michael Ostow, illustrated by Brian Biggs. So I'm going to sing you a song that I just learned from Sesame Street about being loud and being quiet. It's kind of a lullaby. You wouldn't expect lullabies to be loud, right? Well, you'll see. So I have, for the soft parts, my little shakers. And this is about the letter N. The letter N is what you need when you take a nap. You need to put your nightshirt on or put on your nightcap. N is for nummies, which is really nice to eat the night before you nuzzle down in between the sheets. And goes na 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 na, and goes na 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 na. Whew. When you rest your body, lay your noggin down, put on your pajamas or put on your nightgown. Tell your niece and nephews and the neighbor down the street the letter N is helpful when you want to sleep. And goes na 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 na, and goes na 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 na, and goes na 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 na. Night-night. Did that surprise you? Was that too loud for a nighttime lullaby? I think so. Maybe the soft parts here were good for a lullaby, but this part here was definitely too loud for a nighttime lullaby. So, be conscious of your volume. And let's do our real lullaby for tonight. Grab your snuggle buddy. Let's do our Sandra Boynton silly lullaby. Grab your stuffy or your sibling or your grown-up or your blankie or your pillow or yourself and just give yourself a big squeeze. And we'll do our normal silly lullaby. Do you remember it? I hope you remember it. I hope you do. Because right now I am drawing a total blank. Oh, yes, okay. Yes, I remember. I'm sorry. All that na 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 na. Just chase it right out of my head. Okay, let's do our silly lullaby. Go to sleep, my zoodle, my fibbledy-fitsy-foo. Go to sleep, sweet noodle. It's time to say achoo. The chicken's in the bathtub, the closet full of sheep. The sneakers in the freezer are drifting off to sleep. Go to sleep, my zoodle, my fibbledy-fitsy-foo. Go to sleep, sweet noodle, the owl is whispering moo. And with that, we say goodnight. And thank you so much for joining our loud edition of Pajama Storytime. I hope you are able to settle down and go to sleep right now. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.